Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating origin story of something you probably use multiple times a day without even thinking about it, the QR code. We see them everywhere, on product packaging, restaurant menus, concert tickets, even on billboards. They've become an indispensable part of our digital lives, linking the physical world to the virtual with a simple scan. But have you ever stopped to wonder, who actually invented this clever little square, and why? Get ready, because the answer might surprise you, and it all starts in a place you might not expect. Our story begins not in a Silicon Valley startup, but in the bustling world of Japanese manufacturing, specifically the automotive industry, back in the mid-1990s. At that time, traditional barcodes were the go-to for tracking parts and products. You know, those long lines of black and white stripes. They were revolutionary for their time, but as technology advanced and manufacturing processes became more complex, these linear barcodes started to show their limitations. They could only store a very limited amount of information, typically just a product number. Imagine trying to track thousands of car parts, each with unique specifications, origins, and destinations, using only a tiny identifier. It was slow, cumbersome, and incredibly inefficient. Workers on assembly lines had to scan multiple barcodes or manually input data, leading to bottlenecks and errors. The need for a more robust data encoding system was becoming critical. Enter Denso Wave, a subsidiary of the Japanese automotive components manufacturer Denso Corporation. In 1994, Denso Wave was tasked with finding a solution to this problem. They needed something that could store significantly more information than a traditional barcode and, crucially, could be scanned much faster. The team leading this charge was headed by an incredibly insightful engineer named Masahiro Hara. Hara-san and his small team were given the challenging mission to create a new kind of two-dimensional code that could handle the complexity of modern industrial tracking. Masahiro Hara wasn't just looking for a slight improvement, he was aiming for a complete paradigm shift. He envisioned a code that could store an entire range of characters, not just numbers, and be read quickly from any angle. He noticed that linear barcodes often failed if they were slightly obscured or damaged, which was a common occurrence in a fast-paced factory environment. So, reliability and speed were at the absolute top of his priority list. Hara-san and his team began to experiment with different patterns. They wanted a design that was both compact and highly readable. A key insight came from observing the proportion of black and white areas in printed materials. They found that in common printed text and images, there were specific ratios of white to black. By carefully choosing their finder patterns, those distinctive square corners that tell a scanner where the code begins and ends, they could ensure high-speed scanning from any direction. These three large squares in the corners of a QR code are not just decorative, they are fundamental to its functionality. They allow the scanner to quickly identify the code's orientation, even if it's upside down or at an angle, and process the data instantly. This was a game changer. The name itself, QR code, stands for Quick Response Code. This name perfectly encapsulates its core design philosophy, to allow for high-speed scanning and rapid decoding of information. Masahiro Hara and his team poured over 2 years into developing and perfecting this technology, working tirelessly to balance data capacity, error correction, and scanning speed. They tested numerous patterns and algorithms, refining their creation until it met the demanding requirements of industrial applications. What makes the QR code so robust is its built-in error correction capability. This means that even if part of the QR code is damaged, dirty, or obscured, it can still be read. It's like having a backup plan built right into the code itself. This was essential for its original purpose in factories where wear and tear were common. They designed it with 4 levels of error correction, ranging from 7% low to 30% high data recovery, making it incredibly resilient. This foresight was brilliant and is one of the main reasons it became so widely adopted. Initially, the QR code was exclusively used within Denso and its suppliers for tracking automotive parts. It revolutionized their inventory management and logistics, significantly cutting down on errors and increasing efficiency. Its success in this demanding environment quickly caught the attention of other industries in Japan. Because Denso Wave made the innovative decision to release the QR code specifications openly and royalty-free, its adoption outside the automotive sector was rapid and widespread. This move was crucial. It meant that anyone could use and develop applications for QR codes without having to pay licensing fees, fostering incredible innovation and proliferation. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, QR codes started appearing in various sectors across Japan. They were used in manufacturing beyond automotive, for managing medical equipment, and even for tracking products in retail. People began to see them on consumer goods, in magazines, and on posters, often linking to websites or providing additional product information. The rise of camera-equipped mobile phones further accelerated this adoption. Suddenly, people had a portable scanner in their pockets. Globally, the QR code's journey to widespread recognition took a bit longer. While popular in Asia, particularly Japan and China, it wasn't until the early 2010s that they began to gain significant traction in Western countries. The smartphone revolution played a pivotal role. As more and more people acquired smartphones with advanced cameras and internet access, the convenience of scanning a code to instantly access digital content became undeniable. Apps specifically designed for QR code scanning became common, and eventually, many smartphone cameras integrated the scanning functionality directly. The COVID-19 pandemic, surprisingly, gave the QR code another massive boost. With a global need for touchless interactions and quick information dissemination, QR codes became indispensable. Restaurants started using them for digital menus, event venues for contactless ticketing, and public health initiatives for contact tracing and information sharing. This period cemented the QR code's status as a universal tool, bridging the gap between our physical environment and the vast digital landscape. So, the next time you scan a QR code to view a menu, pay for an item, or access a website, remember the ingenious mind of Masahiro Hara and his team at Denso Wave. They didn't set out to create a global phenomenon. They simply aimed to solve a very specific industrial problem: efficient tracking of car parts. But through their innovation, foresight, and the brilliant decision to make their invention open source, they gave us a tool that has transformed how we interact with the world around us. It's a wonderful example of how focused problem-solving can lead to truly universal and impactful inventions. It's incredible to think that this simple square pattern, born out of a need for faster part tracking in a Japanese car factory, has become such an integral part of our daily lives, empowering everything from quick payments to instant information access. What started as an industrial necessity transformed into a global convenience, all thanks to a dedication to efficiency and an open-source spirit. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the history of the QR code. If you found this dive into invention and innovation as fascinating as I did, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the everyday tech we often take for granted. We love hearing your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. What is your favorite or most surprising use of a QR code? See you next time.